Hello guys, as you can probably see I am doing a Lidl camp. So yeah, I've been waiting for them to get their camping stuff in. Lidl's one of them shops I've not actually done before, and I saw some of the stuff they've got coming in, so I got down there. If you don't know what Lidl is like a budget supermarket, I think German, same as like Aldi. So yeah, I went there the other day, I had a little hunt through to the middle of Lidl, and yeah, they had some gardening stuff, they had some camping stuff. When I got there, I saw they had like a bed thing for your back seats in your car, barbecues, tents, mats, all that kind of normal stuff. They also had power hookups for campsite camping. They had 3 different tents. One of them's a utility tent, one's like a family tent, and then the one that I've got today is like a 2-person, let's call it a hiking tent. As well as the tent, I also got a few other bits and bobs just to make up kind of a setup to come camping and have a look what it's like. Let's start off with the chair I was just sitting on, as it's the first thing I've used. I've got my receipt here, and camping chair grey, I think they had orange as well, is £7.99. Pretty standard. It doesn't fold down small and lightweight. It's not like some kind of lightweight camping ones, but you know, you're not going to carry it far, but if you're camping out of your car, absolutely fine. As you probably noticed, they don't do backpacks, or one at the moment, so I've got a bag for life, a couple of carrier bags, and their cooler, which we'll look at later. Oh, and by the way, because it's pretty dark in the woodland today, we've had some weather come in. I've come to the very edge here, just on the edge of the woodland, on the tree line here, where I've got some light coming in from the kind of farmland there. So I think in the bottom of this bag for life is my tent. Rained practically all last night and into the morning this morning, and it's supposed to do the same tonight and into tomorrow as well. So hopefully it'll hold up long enough for me to get set up and have something to eat and whatnot, so I'm not just trapped in a small tent. So this little fella should get a bit of a workout. We'll see how waterproof it actually is. It is by Crivet, which appears to be Lidl's own brand, outdoors brand. It says it's been going for a few years, but this is the 2-man tent. It is 2.25 kilograms, 1080mm hydrostatic head, 3-year warranty, and we've got some sizings here as well. Although I am starting to think you guys like it when I get wet. So let's get this out and have a look at this tent. We've got some literature here. I don't suppose it's going to be too necessary. Peg it out, poles, yeah, and then the rain fly. My guess is these are pretty thin, cheap Shepherd Crook ones. Oh, they're pretty standard actually, they're not like them really bendy ones. There's no cordage at all. So I'll get this set up and then we'll talk about the price of it and have a look at the rest of the kit I've got with me. And here are my poles. Pretty standard. I thought this was the outer fly, but no, that's the bottom and then the mesh, I believe. So this will be our outer fly, so that can go aside for now. So I'm going to set up with the door here facing the open farmland there, a bit of light, and we can have a nice kind of woodland backdrop there for you guys. Both poles are exactly the same, so this shouldn't be too tricky. In one pocket one side. Just do this so it stays up on its own. So far so simple. Some of us don't particularly like having a inner first pitch, but should be okay for a strictly summer tent. And then we tie this. I can already see we've got a hook in there. That's better than some tents manage to do. Getting a few drips on here as well from the trees still having a lot of rain in them. Let's see how this hooks on. Elasticated cordage all the way around. So it looks like on the front here we've got the smallest allowance for a vestibule. That could come in a lot of handy in the morning if the weather is going to be bad. So that's good because I didn't think it had one at all. Also has these tie-offs, but I'm probably not going to use them because it's not going to get windy in here. I'm actually a bit surprised to see some ventilation, which looks decent on here. Well done, Crivet. Yeah. Not sure how much of a side wind it could take, but certainly do for woodland camping. Right, let's have a looky-loo. Oh, another bit of Velcro. Well, looks cosy. I've got 2 pockets in here, that vent and that hook, and that's about your lot. I mean, what else do you need? The floor comes up at the sides, so you've got protection because that fly has a gap, so that's going to help with that kind of air circulation as well. But not bad. Right, so if I look at my receipt here, this is 2-person tent blue, $19.99. They also have like a living area tent, so you can stand up in and cook in and stuff like that. That is down at $79.99. And then you've got a 4-person family style tent, similar one to what I've used in the past actually for festivals and stuff. That's £100 or $129 without their app thing. So pretty well priced, to be quite honest. 20 quid. I mean, this actually looks pretty good and pretty waterproof. Famous last words maybe? We'll see. There are 2 styles of mat in Lidl. They've got an inflating one with built-in pillow, and they've got a self-inflating one as well. Now both of these were $14.99, and there's 2 reasons I got both to show you them, and because I think they're both going to be pretty thin and I'm getting old, so I might end up using both. Oh, they're built on. These things can take a little while, so I'm just going to give it some help. One thing I was genuinely concerned was if this would even fit, but it does. You could probably fit 2 in there as well, so yeah, they're pretty good at fitting what would fit in the tent and selling them together. Right, the other one. This is t'other one. This is a standard inflating one. It has a built-in pillow, which I'm a bit wary of, but I think I've used this exact same mat before on the Chinese ones. They would put the inflating... Oh, it's got 2 inflators, probably for the pillow and the mat. For anyone new, this is by Flex Towel, it's not from Lidl, but my days of self-inflating are over. I was hoping that one was for the pillow. I want that 2 inflated. I have basically slept on both of these mats before, not these ones, but identical ones. This one can actually be buttoned down so you don't drift apart in the night, 2 of them. But yeah, I'll most likely be using both. I mean, even if you bought both, it's only 30 quid, so it's not too bad. Actually got most of my food for this camp from Lidl as well, so I've got a few snacks to show you. I grabbed a few things that look like good camping, hiking snacks, and I've got some biltong and jerky. Got some fruit and nut selection, it's like a bit of trail mix if you had some M&Ms in. And, I don't know what they call these, cabanossi? Like meat sticks is what I call them, and they go very well with beer, so I'm saving them for later. Might do, just try out the jerky and biltong. Jerky, biltong. They're both just called original. That's nice enough. Sometimes too chewy, that's not too bad. And that's pretty sweet. Not bad. One thing I should probably get out and ready is this. I found that I had a first aid kit alongside where the camping gear was. It's meant for a car, but needs must. So, this is it. These are good starting points, but often adding to them is good. Medical masks, sterile bandages, got a foil blanket there. In fact, I'll just show you that, but definitely good to have. So this was $4.99. It's definitely a good starting point. I'd put some stuff in there as well. I'd put some pills and stuff in there, burn gel, stuff like that, maybe eye wash as well. Next up is my lantern, and I've also got my stove. The reason I'm showing you both at the same time is that they work off, I think it's called Type 200 gas, which I didn't have, and it's not that common. This is camping gas, but it's a strange choice, because it's harder to come by, especially in the shops and stuff, for somebody who's, you know, getting kind of beginner type kit. But I've already got the one in the stove there. I need to set up the lantern because it's a mantle one. If you don't know what a gas powered mantle lantern is, they are very bright. And the reason for that is this. This is what they call the mantle. This thin netting material. You have to burn it, and then your gas kind of goes through it and makes it glow white hot. So you get a very bright light. Now this has some glass, which I believe is in the bottom here, safely tucked away. Et voila. So these have plastic over the valve here, and you have to put it inside, and then we need to tighten it up in the vertical position until it kind of pierces it. They are, it's definitely pierced there, and I should have checked that the valve was off. Yep. Now, take out the handle, take off the lid. I can't remember if this is supposed to be on the inside or the outside of the igniter there. It's definitely supposed to be hooked on there. So let's get this tied up and we'll burn it. It's almost burnt down, so I'm going to turn on the gas here, very low, and try and ignite. Okay, I might use a match. Don't know how this is going to go. Come on. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. It's nearly there. While it's on the low, I'm just going to put this over and this on. Ow. And I think we might be there. Oh, look at that. Right, for now I'm just going to hang this here on this tree, which is by my tent. We'll use it later. So like I said, the gas stove uses the exact same kind of gas cartridges, so if you buy any of this stuff, be careful for that, because you kind of have to go to a proper big camping shop or get them online really. I had to get them from Amazon next day delivery because I only got this stuff the day before that. Luckily they came. Oh right, that's my only real criticism so far, to be honest. I mean, the mats are not the greatest, but then they are cheap as well, and I've just become accustomed to my Thermarest. So I don't know if I said, but the camping cooker, stove, and the lantern are $7.99 each, which isn't too bad. Now, this is the camping shower. No, I'm not having a shower today, and you don't have to watch that anyway. But let's have a look at it. It could be a good form of water storage. So this is it, 25 litres. It's pretty big, and it's got this tube and shower attachment on the end. I've put a tube in the back there for holding it up, and you have a hook and some cordage. Now my thought was just to use this as your water source basically, fill in your cup, your kettle, whatnot, wash your hands. Could be quite good. So what I'm going to do, truck's only just over there, I've not camped far from it today, is just put a couple of litres in it and hang it somewhere. Right, so it's a bit darker over here, but I've basically suspended this from my tailgate You can see where I filled it up there. I've got a big tank of water here, but not enough for 25 litres. So I've put a bit in it. We'll try out the tap shower head. Okay, so I've got my kettle here. See what is on. This is on. That's coming out with some force actually. That's not too bad. You'd have to hang this pretty high though, I think. So the camping shower was $5.99. It doesn't actually look too bad. It would have been nice to come with like a tap end as well as the shower end, but you know, if you're putting it in a big enough thing, it's going to be fine. So it's time to use my $7.99 stove, which already has the gas in, same type as gas as before, and we'll get a brew on. Well, I didn't realise this doesn't even have an igniter. The control on this seems alright, it seems fine to be quite honest. Weird that it doesn't have an igniter on it because the lantern does. Not that it worked. Oh yeah, second cup of tea of the day. It's getting on there as well. So yeah, this isn't bad. Obviously you'd have to remember to take a lighter with you or something and get that type 200 gas, but does the job. We'll see how it is doing dinner later because you tend to have to be on a lower flame cooking, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. Right, I think we've got one more thing to look at, and I've just got a couple of bits of kit which I needed anyway, like a sleeping bag. They don't have them. This is one of a few coolers they had. They've got hard shell coolers, a few different bags of different sizes. This one is 10 litre, I believe. Yeah. And you've got clips on the sides here, you can have some water bottles attached, you've got a small compartment there. It's a bit wet there, that's a concern. Where's the zip? Oh, it's also like a mini backpack as well. You've got room to put a cool block there, a nice block, and I've put one at the bottom. And inside here it says, well, 5 hours, 5 degrees, don't know exactly what that means or how they worked it out. Got a couple of beers from Lidl as well. There's also my dinner down the bottom there. Well, I must admit that cup of tea was horrible. I did mean to rinse out that shower bag, but I didn't, and it tasted like plastic. So if you buy that, rinse it out first. Right, so I'm going to just set up my saw here. Got some bits of wood from the last camp in the trunk, and yeah, just get some extra to go with it. It's nice here on the edge of the woodland. You don't get quite as claustrophobic because right now everything is just so thick and dense and dark. Just being here, just looking out over the fields there, quite nice. Weird wearing white in the woods. Right, yeah, a few dead bits here, I'll take these. the lantern hung up on the hook. All good. I think it's beer o'clock. I'm going to start with a session. Never seen these before. I don't get in Lidl much. I don't get my beer there, but this is Steam Brew. Steam Brew, that's what it says. It's just a session IPA. Very fancy can, but I assume it's like a home brand. Oh. Give her a go. It is very cold, by the way. That is fine. Not much flavour, to be honest, but I've got another one to try, and I've got beer snacks. Love these things. My chicken was still frozen in the cooler, so I'm leaving that out for an hour or so and it should be okay. Wind is picking up in gusts, and I guess that's what's bringing in this bad weather tonight. Hopefully it holds out long enough to at least cook my dinner, and then I don't care. I'm happy for it to rain while I'm in the tent. I suppose I better do this so we don't get the bugs in there. Also got with me the Flex Towel bug repeller and a couple of new, I don't know what you call them, cartridges. So I'll go in with the new and out with the old. There's quite a colour change on the old ones. Ooh. And I'm not sure if I charged this, so it'd be a good test of how long it lasts. Oh, there we go, we're on. Boom. I've got some chicken thighs with me, and to go with that I've got some other bits from Lidl. So I've got some peri-peri rub, got some mild peri-peri mayo and some lemon and herb rice, and so we're going to be doing kind of a bit of a Nando's, which I think I've ever had once. Before doing dinner though, I'm going to have another beer. It's an Imperial IPA this time, same kind of branding, and it's got a lot more flavour, maybe a bit strong actually. It'll do, it'll do. I just remembered there's one more thing. A table. Now, Lidl are selling these for this price, because I don't know what it is off the top of my head because it's not my receipt, but I already had the exact same one, so may as well use it. I suppose it's time to cover up this daft t-shirt, which I actually got on eBay and spent way too much to get, and put on something much more appropriate, which you can buy too on my website. It's getting pretty dark. This wind is definitely blowing in some weather. It's not meant to be till about 1 in the morning it starts raining, so we should be okay. Right, so I've got some chicken thighs here. I think I'm going to do 3. I think that will do me and fit in the pan. So there we go. And we're going to have peri-peri, medium rub. So just get that nicely coated all the way around. And that will be all ready. So I'm going to move on to the rice for now and leave that marinating. Okay, and for the rice I've got this pot, my ready-made rice just to reheat. I'll just get some water in there. Not from the shower. So we get this stove lit and our rice on. Right, so that's the rice on. I'm just going to let that come to the boil, take it off and leave it to stand because that water's going to stay hot for a while, then fry off the chicken. Right, so we've got our boil on with the rice, so I'm going to take that off and leave it to stand. And immediately get my pan with some oil in on, get that heated ready for the chicken. Here we go. I think I might only fit 2 at a time. So that's fine, we're in no rush. I think we're about there with the chicken. Turn that off. Get our rice, which is rather hot. Get some of that in there. Do for the moment. Oh yeah. And I guess a bit of our peri peri mayonnaise. Apparently it's the good stuff. It's weird hearing the gas still going because of the light, the lantern. Well, here we go. That rice is definitely still hot and the chicken definitely cooked through. So we'll give it a go with that peronaise. It's nice. Could be spicier, I think. Could have some muscatch bonnet on it. Rice is good. Not bad, Lidl, not bad. Woodland Nando's. Nearly forgot. There was a couple more beers I got. They sell punks. I got a 4-pack of punks as well. I've already drunk 3 of them at home. Not alone, but I've got one of them here. Right, last thing I bought was some firelighters in Lidl. And they are them kind of old school barbecue firelighter type things. I'm just going to use a strip like that. God, they smell. And get that lit with a match. I've not used these things in years. Very kind of paraffin-y smelling. Well, they didn't even light. Come on. This brings back memories. Some of them longer bits on there as well. There we go. Well, it's darker than it probably seems to you guys, and the fire's going. I've just moved away from the tent, it's over there, just a few metres, because there wasn't really enough space for it and I was worried about the roots of the trees. But yeah, I'm just over here, ready to chill and see that sun go down. Well, I say see the sun go down, it's pretty cloudy now. So yeah, we'll just chill out while it gets dark. that's it for me for tonight. I was going to have a brew, but I couldn't be bothered, to be honest. That wind keeps really picking up, so yeah, interesting. It's going to come in hard tonight, I think. We'll see. But I can sit up quite comfortably in here. Can fit all my gear next to the bed here. I forgot to get my sleeping bag out, but it's not cold at all. Should be fine. And I guess I'll see you guys in the morning, unless that rain really comes down. Maybe I'll reach out and put the camera on. It's here. Good morning. Rain come in about 3 o'clock, so a little late. I was still awake, just couldn't really get to sleep until after the rain started. But it came down hard. It stopped, I don't know, sometime this morning when I was kind of dozing, so a good few hours of it. And the tent held up perfectly. I mean, at some point in the early hours I shone a light around, and just where the glossiness of the material was, I thought it was leaking for a moment, but perfectly fine. No noticeable condensation either, really. I mean, there probably is some, but where like my head rubbed against the inner and that there was nothing. So not a bad tent. Yeah, I mean, we'll go over everything in a little while, but yeah, rain's stopped, so should be able to do breakfast okay. There's a little bit of a chill in the air, and what's Andy got in his Aldi bag? He's got some spam, not from Aldi, some eggs, not from Aldi, some panko breadcrumbs and some flour, not from Aldi. So I wanted to do spam fritters, but I wanted to do kind of breadcrumbed ones rather than kind of a normal batter. I haven't got an awful lot of oil with me. I kind of forgot to bring my big one, so it'll be shallow fried and we'll see how it goes. I'll just get the egg mixed there. And what do we need to do? We'll start off with 2. And one at a time, I'm going to put them in this bag of flour just to help the egg adhere to it. Like so. Get that coated. And into the breadcrumbs. Like so. Well, so this is all the oil. I would like more. We shall see how we do. I don't want the lid on, do I? Okay, let's see how this goes. dollop of ketchup. Here we go. Posh spam fritters I'm calling them, and they've come out pretty well. I'm just going to dip that straight in the ketchup. That's nice. I'll be civilised, especially as there's an egg. Not bad at all. That was good for such a simple thing. Well, for a setup which was total, I think £107, not too bad. I guess it's bring your own pan and bring your own sleeping bag, but the tent, I don't mind this. I'd like a vestibule big enough to cook in, but I was actually surprised it had a vestibule at all, just to leave your boots and whatnot. And yeah, the stoves I would have preferred different gas cartridge type, but you know, as long as you're prepared and know about that, there's no reason, they worked fine. So, not bad. Well done, Lidl, or Crivet. I guess I did cheat a little bit with the mats by using 2, but they're pretty cheap, and I am getting old. I don't like it when my hips dig in. But I did notice on the self-inflating, they have like silicone patches so it doesn't move, which I was pretty impressed with for a budget bit of gear. Right, last stuff to go over to the truck. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I did actually. It was good to finally get some proper rain. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye for now.